What it do, what it do. Welcome into The Common Fan. I'm your host, Austin Dunstan, joined by Braxton as usual. And today, we're without Colton and Massey. Thank the Lord we're with Luke Bigler. Luke, what's up, man?
Not a lot, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming on. It was kind of last minute, but we're more than happy that you're here because we didn't know what we were going to do with two people.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we were sitting here talking about like maybe rearranging, like is the couch too big?
Or are we going to do it here?
Yeah. So to grab Luke last minute, plus he was thrilled, man. You've never been on a podcast?
Never been on a podcast. No.
All right.
No, never done nothing like this before. So I'm pretty excited.
Well, good, dude.
Yeah, I know you have like a pretty deep karaoke pass, so you're used to a microphone in front of you, so we're just going to roll with it.
I love that, man. But we kind of go way back. You guys really more than me, but I just remember as a kid. So how much older are y'all than me? So I'm 22.
I'm 26.
You're 26? 26. So y'all graduated like the year before I went in?
Yeah. Well, he's a year older than I technically in school.
Right. But y'all were in high school at the same time. I just remember me and Colton, we would always come over to y'all's house because like we said, it's always the hangout spot, and you two would be there. And we would play pickup basketball, me and Colton versus you two.
That's right.
Domination.
And you would call yourselves Shake and Bake. I texted.
Can you believe this guy remembers that?
Dude, it scarred me. Literally, he texted me today, and I said, do you remember this? And he said, yes. He said, never underestimate a little bit of Shake and a little Bake. And I was like, oh, God, dude. But that's literally terrifying. So do y'all have any, like, funny stories, though?
Dude, you want to tell the Roman candle Joe Dirt story?
Oh, man, yes.
Let's hear it.
Because quite honestly, to this day, I'm not sure if my parents know this story.
Wow, okay. So I've never heard this story.
So this was right around the time, like honestly, like right now. So it was close to July 4th.
Right.
The fireworks tents had opened, and me and Luke bought Roman candles. This was before we could drive. I think we found Roman candles, something weird. And Joe Dirt was, the popular movie right around then. So we filled a bucket up with gas.
Oh, God.
And tried to shoot fireballs into the gas bucket.
Are you serious? Like, is this a joke or is this for real?
This is for real.
What did you make it? What happened?
Well, it was a bunch of misses at first, honestly.
Right. Okay.
It took, 2 or 3 sticks before we made one?
But once you made it, you pretty much, there was no going back.
Oh, my God. Where was this at?
It was just down in a field. We hit it, and, like, exactly what you would think, like, fireball just... And I remember, do you remember this? So all I remember, I was like, just pee on it, something.
Yes.
Dude, that's so funny.
I'm pretty sure Luke peed on it, and I sprinted up the hill to get a bucket of water.
You guys are idiots.
Dude, that's only the tip of the iceberg.
Oh,
no, man. We have so many stories.
Well, good. I'm glad that you guys told me that because I've been in trouble for starting a fire at your house before, but I'm not going to go into it. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into some sports talk, man. So we're going to go very sports heavy this week. And first, we want to talk about the possibility of an MLB team coming to Nashville.
Let's go.
So first of all, what's y'all's thoughts on it?
I mean, fired up.
Pretty much got it right there for me.
I love it. Okay, did y'all see the makeup of where they would put it right next to Nissan Stadium?
Yes,
really.
And there's like a walkover from stadium to stadium.
That's exactly where you want it, right?
Oh yeah, right in the heart of everything. You can sit
on Broadway and see both the stadiums just sitting there. I mean, there's no better. I mean, think of how many MLB stadiums there are that back up to a river or a lake or something like that. It's just a perfect backdrop.
The field would have to go back to like the old Greer Stadium. I know it wasn't. Big league affiliate, but having the guitar as a scoreboard.
Oh, the guitar scoreboard?
It has to be.
Have to.
Oh, yeah. That would be killer, man, because we've been talking about how Nashville's kind of the up-and-coming place to be.
Most definitely.
Right now. And I think it's a perfect spot for the MLB to put another team.
Yeah.
But here's my thing, okay? So I've been an Orioles fan, like sadly.
I'm so sorry.
Since I was a kid because of Cal Ripken Jr.
Okay.
And that's why I was always number 8 and
that
stuff.
Makes sense.
But honestly, I think, in my opinion, if they put an MLB team in Nashville, I'd probably switch over and become a Nashville honky tonks fan or whatever they decided to call it.
Honky tonks.
That was the first thing that came into my head. I don't know. What about you guys? Would you guys become a fan of that, or would you drop whatever team? First of all, who do y'all like?
All right, so go first.
See, man, I'm a Chicago Cubs fan.
Really?
I became a Cubs fan during the McGwire Sosa race, which ironically that long gone summer just aired last week.
Right.
It's awesome. Go check it out, even though it's more of a McGuire documentary now. But anyways, so I was a Cubs fan back whenever they were the lovable losers.
Right. Okay.
They stunk
for a long time. The curse of the goat,
Billy Goat.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember watching Bartman, and that was the first time that I cussed in front of an adult. And
I cussed in front of an adult.
It was so bad. Yeah. And then now they're the Cubs who,
right.
I mean, we just won it in 2016.
Right. They're kind of star-studded.
They're a contender every year.
Right.
And we're going to be a contender every year.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would have a really hard time completely abandoning my loyalty to the Cubs. But now if they come in, I believe they're coming in as an AL team. The expansion team is going to be.
Okay.
So they would most definitely be my American League team.
Sure. Okay.
100%. And I would go I would be a season ticket holder.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like I would be at every game.
Yeah, for sure.
I could.
What about you, Brax?
So lifelong Braves fan.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I? Oh yeah, I get. Okay, I knew that. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
You like Colton liked the Red Sox.
Colton. Okay, so
because of Wii baseball.
He was young and he was really young in 2004 whenever they won.
Yeah, he was really young in 2004. I for a period liked the Red Sox, but I think I was more. Austin knows I'm a conspiracy theory fan.
Oh my God! Don't even start.
We won't even dive into that rabbit hole.
We should do that another time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I will dive in deep
that's going to take hours.
Right.
But
I'm all about it.
Yeah, I was a big Boston Red Sox fan for a year or two around that 2004 period. But, allegiance goes back to the Braves. Soul in, soul out. I mean, I was a baby going to Braves games, and that's kind of who I've supported ever since. But if Nashville got a team, 100%, like you said, first thing I would do would buy season tickets.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be at every game. I'd try to be one of those founding members, so that way in 60 years, I have a brick with my name on it.
There you go. You got a seat named after you.
That's right. But could I just ditch them straight up? I don't know.
But you got the same thing, though.
Exactly.
Being an NL team. Braves are NL, where you got the most.
Actually, I see what you're saying. Like, my team's in the AL. I would drop the Orioles in a heartbeat.
I was about to say.
I would drop. I would always be like a fan. Don't get me wrong, but I'd start wearing Nashville stuff.
But if the
honky tonks
and the Orioles showed down in the World Series,
honky tonks all day.
Think so?
Oh yeah. Well, I have more because the thing about me is, yes, I played baseball in high school and in the college for 2 days. So, but I have never been a huge MLB fan. I don't know why. I love postseason baseball. Don't get me wrong. And I'll watch a regular season game if it's on, but I would be more inclined to watch it if it was a Nashville team.
Yeah.
Because I could not have cared less about hockey until I started getting into the Predators. Does that make sense? I know they came about in 99, I think. So I was 1. And so they've always been here since I can remember.
Right.
But whenever I got older, I would not have been watching hockey if there wasn't a team in my home state.
You wouldn't have been watching the Ducks and the Rangers.
No, I wouldn't have cared. Now I would.
Yeah.
Because I love hockey.
Right.
But it's because of the Predators. So I think that if Nashville got a team, I would be more inclined to watch a lot more baseball.
Yeah, and I think we all are fans of not necessarily the underdog, but if you're there and you're watching, my allegiance to the Braves would slowly just shift over.
Yeah,
it wouldn't take long whatsoever. I don't think it would take long. If they're playing in the World Series, it'd be one thing, but I think, I'd definitely have more Nashville honky tonks gear than I would Braves gear.
100%.
But yeah. I'm going to ask you a question real quick, Luke. Do you remember, so lifelong Cubs fan, you've always been a Cubs fan. I remember going to your house when we were 12 years old, 10 years old, and you were a Cubs fan. Do you remember trying to style our hitting stance after Moises Alou?
We got the knees going big a little bit. Dude, you actually couldn't break the habit.
I know. I kept it for a while.
Maybe
I think I kept it permanently.
Is that why you turned into a PO in high school and college?
Yeah, Moises screwed me over. So Moises, it's not your fault. I couldn't hit to save my life, but
but anyway, that's a great spot to end the first segment. But anyway, we'll be right back. I don't know where I'm going with this, but we'll figure it out. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Play that music.
I'll probably just cut myself being an idiot right there. Or I should just leave it. I'm going to leave it for sure.
It's enough.
Hi, didn't see you there, but while I've got your attention, let me get you to go ahead and follow our socials. You can follow us at The Common Fan on Twitter, The Common Fan Official on Instagram and YouTube, and then all other podcast platforms is just The Common Fan. Can I get some more makeup in here? All right, boys and girls, welcome back to The Common Fan. And this week we had Luke on, and Luke's kind of been a podcast guy since the beginning of podcasts, honestly.
Big time podcast guy.
Yeah, he's been listening to podcasts for a while.
Yeah, I didn't know that about him. He told me when he came in here, he's like, yeah, I pretty much just kind of X'd off music in my vehicle. I listen to podcasts like primarily, which is pretty cool to me. I like that.
As long as I'm by myself, because most time people don't want to listen to my
Pass me the aux. I'm going to play a podcast. I'd be like, shut up, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
My wife cannot listen to a podcast. She hates them.
And she sits right over there.
But she watches the filming of everyone.
She loves The Common Fan.
That's right. That's right. And so should you.
And so should you. Like and subscribe.
All right. But we had Luke on, a couple hours ago. We were talking about like other podcasts that we're fans of, because I know Luke's been a podcast guy, but it's been a couple years since we've kind of spitballs, what podcasts we like. So we kind of pitched a segment of let's talk about a little podcast inception.
Yeah, a little podcast about a podcast.
That's right.
I love that.
What do you like? What are you into? How big is it?
Yeah.
All right, Luke, I'm gonna pitch it to you. So, do you have one that's like sticks out in mind? That's like a big one in your life?
Yeah, I mean the one that I pretty much wait on it to come out every week. I mean it comes out twice a week. It's called Talking Baseball.
Talking Baseball. Okay. Well, explain about it.
Is that
it's from John Boy Media. You know John Boy.
Yeah.
He did the reading the lips of all the MLB players.
Yeah.
He got pretty big on that. So listen to him. It's him, his co-host. His name's Jake, and then an ex-MLB player named Trevor Plouffe, played for the Twins.
Okay.
I mean, man,
what do they kind of go into? Is it more or less like what's happening right now? Is it like news-based, or is it like...
I mean, man, they do a lot of player interviews.
Okay.
I mean, they're getting more into interviewing of people like in front offices. They're trying to get more of. And they got an umpire on one of them. They're trying to get all different perspectives.
That would be cool from an umpire's perspective, for sure.
Right now, they're pretty much they call themselves a labor dispute podcast, because that's all that's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty
you know what
sad.
umpire I want to hear on that podcast, and I haven't listened to it, so he may have already been on there. But do you remember the umpire that blew the perfect game when the PFP, the pitcher came over to first?
If you didn't, for the Tigers,
I can't think of his name.
If you didn't bring that up, I could have told you his name. But yes,
I want to hear from that guy.
Dude, apparently they hashed that all out like the next day. The next day it was all squashed or whatever. But they talk about him on this podcast, and they talk about how like Trevor Plouffe goes into it because he knows him pretty well from playing, and he goes into how he's such a great one. All the players respect him. I mean, he just made one terrible,
huge, gigantic.
I bet
mistake.
A week, 2 weeks after that, they were like, all right, I can forgive him. But in like 20 years, when he doesn't have his name next to a perfect game that he can tell his grandkids, he's going to be upset.
Only what, like 23 of them have ever happened?
It's something like that.
Gosh.
But I mean, man, he's one of the most memorable ones. Though.
Probably the biggest blown call. I mean, it's the first blown call when I think of blown calls that comes to mind.
Yeah, it was a huge one.
All right. Well, let's pitch it to you. What do you got?
Okay. Mine's a little unconventional, I would say.
You're an unconventional guy with your Hawaiian shirt.
And short shorts.
I was going to... Okay. Wow. Okay. Never mind. That's the end of the show. But I wore a Hawaiian shirt because we're on vacation from Massey and Colton.
That's right.
So I just got back from the beach. I'm feeling good. My shorty shorts, that's just my style, okay?
I dig it, bro.
It's whatever. But anyway, mine is actually David Dobrik's podcast.
Oh.
It's called Views.
And
he does it with... Oh you are the guest here, bro. I will kick you out, dude. But anyway...
I'm sorry.
He's an entertaining dude. He has a lot of money. He does a lot of cool things. He always gives away cars to like his friends and family, which would be sick to me. But literally, they just goof off for an hour with him and Jason Nash, and they're hilarious.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have laughed before I've ever listened.
Yeah, that's true. You never judge a book by its cover.
I've never listened to a podcast of his, but I think I've watched every single YouTube video, at least on his main channel.
I'm a huge David Dobrik fan.
Yeah,
I think he's awesome. I think he's a great dude. So I wanted to support his podcast, and you know what? Views, go check it out. He doesn't need the shout out from me. I need the shout out. I've been DMing him.
Well, he's got
one.
Yeah, I was like, hey man, what are the odds you come on my podcast? No reply. I was like, okay. Well,
he's going to gain one new listener though. I'm gonna check.
There it is. You're welcome, David Dobrik.
Maybe next time.
And then I DM'd him again. I was like, wait, hear me out. What if I offer you no money? Still nothing. So, but anyway, mine's Views. Go give it a listen, man. It's really good.
I'll check it out.
But you go ahead, Brax. You look like you've got one.
You know who we don't need to pitch Views to?
Who's that?
The GOAT of podcasts.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Joe Rogan.
No, that's not
Rogan
it.
Experience.
That's right.
No,
Bro, hands down the best podcaster,
No.
the most versified podcaster
No.
there ever was, has been.
No.
He's been at it for a while.
Negative.
All right, so you clearly disagree.
I
want to know
I want to hear
why.
the cons. I want to hear the cons.
I
of
do
Joe.
not like Joe Rogan's podcast, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Okay? I like Joe Rogan, okay? Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
And I respect the hell out of what he's doing. I mean, he's the biggest podcast. He's got a cult following.
Yeah.
Sure
His
does.
fans would do anything for him, and I love it. And different strokes for different folks, like I say. Like
Shout
Philip
out
Kennedy
to
says.
Philip Kennedy.
Yes. But hear me out. Here's what turned me off of Joe Rogan. He had Neil deGrasse Tyson on. Have you guys seen that one?
I have.
Okay.
And you know what pissed me off more than anything in the world is Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about space and talking about theories, and Joe Rogan acts like he knows more than Neil deGrasse Tyson. And that literally it drove me up a wall.
Well, he had Jamie right there to look up anything and everything.
Yeah, but he was wrong. He'd be like, no. This is why you're wrong, Neil deGrasse Tyson. And I was like, there's no way your ego is that big that you try to one up Neil deGrasse Tyson on space.
You're making a valid point.
You know what I mean?
He really
like
is.
He
You're
always
making a
has to
pretty
act
valid
like
Like
he
he's
knows
backing me in a
everything.
corner right now. He really
bro.
is.
You better rope a dope him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I respect him, and I also don't really like that he's however old, and he's huge on drugs, right? Like, he's a huge drug guy. I am not a huge drug
But
guy.
he does explain why he's into what he's in, though.
Yeah, but I get that. But really, it's not so much that as much as it is he always has to one-up his guests, I feel like. In my opinion.
Very, yeah, no, that's true.
And I think what makes him special, and I would put him probably in the top 1% of the world of just being a truly curious person.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
Truly curious. Like his podcast, he's got anything and everything you can think of.
Oh, 100%.
And we've already went over the conspiracy theories. We won't hit it any longer because we're doing a full show on it.
Oh, God.
But
I'm not coming.
We talk about people in this show. We want to be open to just going down these rabbit holes.
Exactly.
I mean, this dude's recording 3-hour long, just spitballing questions.
That is true.
He has like no script, right?
No script.
No
script.
Because they'll pause for a while.
Yeah.
And he'll be like,
yeah, they'll just sit
what do you
down.
think about this?
How's the weather? And then they'll just dive into something else.
And I love that. And like I said, I respect him. But it's just him one-upping and acting like he knows everything when he has a professional in a certain subject on. It bothers me, and I couldn't get past it.
I completely agree with that point. One thing that I saw on a video of his that I watched a couple weeks ago was the most liked comment. Mm-hmm. The most liked comment read, "I really like when Joe just allows his guests to speak."
Exactly.
It had the most thumbs up because I love his guest. I love the, banter that they get into. I love the topics that they roll into sometimes. I don't watch every video. I don't have time to sit and watch 3-hour-long podcasts.
Yeah.
But the short little 20-minute clips here and there I think are very, very interesting. Mm-hmm. And Joe Rogan just signed I highly doubt a podcast deal will be higher than what Joe Rogan just signed.
What was it? Can you go into that for a second?
I can, yeah. So he signed with Spotify. So his rights are completely exclusive to Spotify.
Question. Mm-hmm. Does that mean he doesn't go on YouTube anymore?
That's correct.
Really?
So all of his YouTube content will be pulled off and put on Spotify.
Interesting. Okay.
So even because they're not necessarily podcasts, they're vlogcast because they're video podcasts.
Yeah.
So those will be on Spotify along with direct audio, obviously. Signed a deal for $100 million.
That is ridiculous.
$100 million.
That's just off podcast alone.
Just podcast alone.
Just sitting and talking, acting like he knows everything in the world.
But
sorry,
that
was a
alone,
jab.
Googling it.
I don't know how much he loses off of YouTube because his YouTube following is a cult following.
Exactly
what it said.
Right.
Before the show, I looked it up. Currently sitting at 8.79 million subscribers.
Gah.
The last video he posted was 4 days ago, has 3.8 million views.
Mm-hmm.
His most popular video was Elon Musk. Great guy.
Love Elon Musk. I love you. I love you, Elon Musk.
But it was a video from a year ago. Guess how many views?
A lot.
35 million.
Golly, I got 35 on the last one. Period. 35. Period.
35 views minus the million.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. In my mind, he's the GOAT. Do I listen to every single second he puts out? No, but I think he kind of sets the standard for everybody else.
Well, I get that. We were talking about this before. We were like, well, we can go into this and this and this, but we figured we would get lost in Joe Rogan. And we did. So we're out of time. Just like that, we're out of time. We're going to take a really quick break. We'll come right back with some more Common Fan. The Common Fan is brought to you by Waltz Free Hand Sanitizing Lotion. It protects you up to 4 times longer than gel and won't crack or dry your hands. Try it out at store.avcare.com. Welcome back into the Common Fan. If you haven't already, check out Waltz Free at store.avcare.com. Use promo code TCF20 for 5% off. So what it is, it's hand sanitizing lotion. So, you know, COVID going around right now. You're really going to need it. You just dab a little bit on there, rub it on, and you're good for like, 4 hours, I believe.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, use TCF20 for 5% off your purchase. Support the show, support the boys. But we're going to get back into it now. So
let's do it.
We are all Titans fans. As you can see, Titans.
Tighten up.
Titans. Everywhere Titans, okay? We love them. And last year was the best year we've ever had, like by far, in my opinion.
As a fandom, someone that's going to games, I'm old enough to truly appreciate the best season we've had.
Absolutely. Yeah. As far as we can remember anyway. Right. But I just want y'all's take on it. What did y'all think about last season, man? Going all the way to the AFC Championship on kind of a Cinderella story run, beating the Ravens, beating the Patriots. I mean, what was going through y'all's mind whenever we decided we were going to make it in as a wild card team,
right?
Obviously, and we have to play the Patriots off the rip.
Well, I mean, first off, was I optimistic? I mean, I thought we could win.
Yeah.
But it's the Patriots.
It's Tom Brady.
It's Tom Brady.
And Shaq Mason.
That's right.
Shout out Shaq Mason.
In Gillette, too. You know?
At night.
Yeah. You're facing Michael Jordan in his prime well, not necessarily in his prime, but, you know, Michael Jordan at home. You know, my question is, Mike Vrabel came in. Obviously, he's doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Huge fan. Love the stash.
Love it.
But the first thing he came to and he said was good to great.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. He changed everything from good to great.
Good to great. That was printed on the walls. It was printed across the practice facility.
Yep.
Did we go good to great? Are we there yet?
Interesting. What do you think, Luke?
I think that is to be found out this year.
Okay.
I think this year, maybe not I think this year is going to be a staple season. Like, it's going to be it's.
Are you who you say you are?
Exactly. Like was that we all just running off momentum?
Right.
Was it a fluke?
And carried it through?
Yeah.
Like, or is everybody real deal? Because everybody knows we have at least one guy that is real deal in Derrick Henry.
Absolutely. Pay that man.
Pay him.
Well, what you don't want to be is Leonard Fournette and the Jaguars from 3 years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
That is my deepest, darkest fear.
Yeah, for sure. And I get that. But, man, it wasn't just a one-and-done season for Derrick Henry. Because remember December Derrick from 2 years ago?
Yeah.
He went off in December.
Yes.
And he carried that over throughout the entire season last season.
Yes.
So I'm thinking he's probably going to keep going.
I mean, he's not what. That's what I was saying. He's not what I'm worried about.
Oh, yeah. No, me neither.
He's going to have his year.
Oh, yeah. I think we should pay the man, too. In my opinion, we need to get that worked out like yesterday.
Tannehill's good. Right?
For sure, yeah.
Tannehill definitely came in and helped this team.
Oh,
he took
100%.
us from phase 1 to phase 2.
100%.
Yeah.
But this team is Derrick Henry.
Absolutely.
Bite the bullet. Mm-hmm. I know we don't like paying running backs because the history of how they're going to get hurt, things like that. Mm-hmm. Bite the bullet and put the crown on the king.
Absolutely.
And let him do his thing.
100%.
He's got another 3 or 4 years in him easy.
At least. I mean, I could not agree more, man. I don't know what the holdup is. I mean, like you said, I get the stigma with running backs. They could get hurt really easily. But have you seen the guy? He's like 6'9", 300 pounds of muscle.
Nobody's knocking that guy down.
Nobody's breaking that guy's leg. Oh God.
Come on.
Everybody do it. Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break from the Common Fan to knock on wood.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, back to what we were saying, from good to great, right? I think we had a great postseason run.
Sure.
Do I think that we are a great team yet? Like you said, I don't know. Because it's one thing to get to the AFC Championship in 1 year, but it's another to be a constant, reoccurring team. Right. And I think that's when you become great. You know what I mean? Like, you think of great teams.
Good teams make it to the playoffs. Great teams are always in the playoffs. Uh-huh. They go to the second round of the playoffs. And you're not. I mean, you can think of the graphic of the number 1 seed of when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was like never.
Yeah.
But they're there.
Yeah.
Time in, time out, they're there. Mm-hmm. And I think this team has the foundation. The foundation has now been laid.
The thing I think that we haven't had in a long time, at least in what I can remember, is we have a great, in my opinion, or will be great head coach that's here to stay for the long run.
He bleeds blue for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, who was the last coach that I think of Jeff Fisher. And I mean, he had some great seasons.
Also great mustache.
But he was never like, thank God, we have Jeff Fisher. Yeah. It was always somebody going, oh, well, here comes field goal Fisher playing for a field goal from the 30, run, pass. Yeah. But we finally have a coach that everybody's excited and everybody wants to gather on and wants him to succeed.
Well, that was because of this past year, though, because if you remember before, people were ready to cut him and Mariota and send them all to the dogs. Like, and then we put in Tannehill, or he put in Tannehill.
Yes.
I didn't do anything. But he put in Tannehill, and I mean, of course, right now everybody loves him because of that high.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think this next year is going to be huge.
Yeah,
huge.
I agree.
I mean, we got other players like I'm most excited about AJ Brown.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I am so excited to see that guy develop.
Bro, have you seen that picture of him that came out recently?
Terrifying.
He's jacked.
He's huge.
Bro, can you imagine if Tannehill throws a pick and you got Derrick Henry and AJ Brown?
Oh my God!
Like, they're catching you first of all, and then they're gonna absolutely stick you.
I wouldn't want to be in the way of either of those guys under any circumstance.
You know who I throw in third in that list?
Who?
Jonnu Smith.
Oh yeah, he's big too.
Did you know Jonnu, Derrick Henry, and AJ Brown are all within 15 pounds of each other?
That's wow.
15 pounds.
I did not know
Obviously,
that.
AJ's a little bit taller because he's a wide receiver.
Right.
Derrick's tall as it is.
So, dude,
what is he, like,
huge.
6'2",
I used to see him
6'3"?
6'2", 6'3".
I used to see him out in Tuscaloosa sometimes.
Did you?
When we went to school, man. And, like,
really?
Huge.
Could you get him on the pod?
Dude, I met him one time in an apartment, and it was after the Texas A&M game, and he was just like, what's up?
Heck
and
yeah.
I big leagued him, and I was like, what's up, bro? Walked out, I was like, oh my God, it's Derrick.
Get him on the pod, man.
This is really off topic, but do you remember the time we went to Auburn, watched a game? After the game, we were walking around after Toomer's Corner. They had won, and we saw Cam Newton on campus.
Yes.
And we walked by him like he was Jesus.
Because he was.
Just fanning him like, oh
because he was.
Bro, that year, he was Jesus.
He was.
Oh, yeah. I still like Cam.
The dude walked
personally.
on water. I love Cam. Dude, I cannot wait to see where he goes because he is going to absolutely tear it up.
I think so, too.
Y'all see the video of him and Odell Beckham working out together?
No.
I did. That was it at a where I don't know where it was, but yes, I did see the video.
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
No, man, he's working.
Yeah, I agree. I would we got into this a while ago. This is way off topic.
Yeah.
I don't care. I think that the Cowboys should go after him.
I don't like the Cowgirls.
You don't like the Cow? Okay.
I do
Fair
not.
enough.
I do not.
I don't mind the Cowboys. Jerry Jones, Arkansas. I like the Cowboys.
I get that.
But cut Dak's stupid number. He signed a deal, right? It was a couple days ago. He signed a deal, I believe. But before that, cut Dak out of there, and then you've got the best backup you can possibly get, and Cam Newton battling it out.
Yeah, for sure. But that's already been passed, so it's a moot point.
All right, back to the TITS.
Yes, the The tits.
Did you guys? What do you guys think about Jarrell Casey's comments about the organization?
What do you? I don't even know what you're talking about. What happened?
So he was on a podcast. I can't remember the name of it, and no free plugins, but
love it.
He basically said, I mean, his words were they threw him away like garbage.
Yeah.
Like he said that he was there during the tough times, and he was the staple point. And then whenever he could have gone to other teams during free agency, he stayed. And now that they're good, they tossed him as a side.
I hated to see him go, man.
I did too, man. But
same with Delanie Walker. You know, they've kind of been through the best and the worst, but ultimately, if you want, it's a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
If you want to be a successful team, you have to have a young, solid foundation. You have to have I don't want to say veteran quarterback, but you have to have a reliable quarterback.
Yeah.
And you've got to continue to rebuild. What's Coach Lamb saying? Not rebuild, reload.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. Though in the NFL,
shout out to Coach Lamb. He's a big fan. Shout out to Coach Lamb.
With the salary cap, you have to reload. You can't break it all down and then build it back up, because we'll be exactly where we are the past 10 years. Yep. We break it down, we build it up. We break it down, we build it up. But I think we're set to reload.
I think so too. But that's a great place to end the segment. We'll be right back with the final segment of the Common Fan. Welcome back into the Common Fan. We're going to get into our top 3 favorite sports movies, I believe.
Of all time.
Of all time. So that could be like children's movies. It could be like anything, but it's all top 3 sports movies. And I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with my top 3.
Okay. All
right. So coming in at number 3. All right. This is unconventional, and you guys might give me a little bit of crap for it. The Benchwarmers. I absolutely love that movie.
And it's funny.
Okay.
It's really funny.
Would you put it in your top 3, though?
No.
Okay.
No.
Whatever. Okay.
But it's funny.
But 3, I absolutely love The Benchwarmers. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. I would fall asleep to it every single night.
He kind of looks like that one guy on there.
Oh, which one? No, I don't want to know which one. Okay, moving on. Number 2, it just slipped my mind. 3 was Benchwarmers. 2 was The Blind Side.
Okay.
I like that.
I love The Blind Side, Sandra Bullock. And I thought it was a great movie, great story.
It's true, too.
It's a true story, yeah. The Blind Side's a great movie, and that's coming in at 2. But it was also tied with Hardball.
Okay.
So tied at 2 is Hardball and The Blind Side. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
With Keanu Reeves?
It's on my list.
Yeah. Is it really? Oh, dude, I love Hardball, man.
I just gave my girlfriend so much crap because she had never seen it. And I said, so you don't know who G Baby is?
Dude, don't.
No, and I said, I almost cried. saying his name.
I made Autumn watch it. Yeah. I tear up every single time.
Oh, I tear up thinking about it, man. Because I was talking to my mom, I was reading her my list, and she was like, Hardball. I was like, yeah, Keanu Reeves. And she was like, I love Keanu Reeves. I was like, yeah, G Baby. And she was like, oh. That's a great movie. I absolutely love Hardball.
You know what I think's appropriate, real quick?
What's that?
Let's go ahead and a little moment of silence for G Baby.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
But in number 1, okay, my all-time favorite sports movie is Miracle.
Bro, you're still in my list.
Miracle on Ice, dude. What a another true story.
Number 1, Miracle. Number 2, Hardball. Parentheses, G Baby.
But dude, Miracle is literally the best sports movie of all time. You cannot change my mind.
Brought America back.
Oh, dude. It literally, I got chills thinking about that movie.
It's one movie that every single time I'm on just flipping through channels, if I see it, I stop and watch it till it's
absolutely. I mean, it's so well done. It's such a great true story.
Right. I think the storyline.
I love America. I love hockey, and I freaking love that movie.
That is so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives me chills. Okay, sorry.
You hyped me up.
Oh, God. Oh, my gosh.
Look at our eagle just floating over there.
Oh, God, America. I love it. God bless. Okay.
All right.
Braxton, I already ruined your list.
No,
but
I actually had some honorable mentions.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
Number 1 for me was Miracle. Number
Banger.
2, Hardball.
Banger.
R.I.P. G Baby.
R.I.P.
Number 3 for me was Remember the Titans.
Oh, yeah. That's a great movie, too.
I'm a little biased to it because not many people know this, but where I went to college, College, most of it was filmed.
Yeah.
Most of Remember the Titans was filmed there.
Free shout out to Berry College.
Free shout out.
Free shout out to Rome, Georgia.
Free shout out.
Dude, a little fun fact. My best friend from Dyersburg, his dad was on that team.
Really?
What?
He was a freshman on that team. The team that went through it. The team that really, the whole story was about. Ron Burnham. Shout out Coach Burnham.
Man, we're about some chills today.
Dude, I've literally gotten chills this whole segment. I'm so happy.
I did not believe him when he told me that until I went home with him for Thanksgiving one time and talked to his dad, and he was just like, "Yep, I was there."
That's so awesome.
All right,
yeah, so great movie.
Honorable mention. I'll just fly through these: The Mighty Ducks, The Sandlot,
banger,
and Bring It On.
I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know what that is.
Are you too young for this?
Probably. I mean, I'm 22. Yeah.
The cheerleading movie?
Oh, dude, no. I remember Jump In, the jump rope movie from Disney Channel.
Yeah, we're going to cut that. Luke, what you got?
Give us your top three.
All right, man. So my top three. So coming in at number 3.
Yeah.
Which I have a question after the answer, is Space Jam.
Space Jam. Okay.
Is Space Jam a basketball movie or a baseball movie? Because technically it is about a baseball player that gets abducted by aliens to go play basketball.
Right.
Because he technically was a baseball player. But he's playing so is it a baseball movie? Because,
God.
Do you see the dilemma?
Why?
I would say basketball movie.
I'm going to say basketball, but
because
I'd probably go basketball.
But you see what I'm saying?
But yeah, you have a solid point. I've never really thought about it like that.
Me either.
Because that kind of threw me through a loop. But yeah, I'm going with basketball.
Right.
But I respect I can see the other end of the spectrum. Anyway, what about number 2? What
number 2 was Hardball.
A banger.
Very nice.
Absolutely. R.I.P.G. baby.
R.I.P. And number 1 is don't know if y'all have seen it. It's called 61.
I don't think
it's about Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle.
Yeah,
and their race.
Really,
it's an old movie,
dude.
Right?
It is so good.
Really?
If you're a baseball guy, the guy who plays Mickey Mantle is Thomas Jane, I believe his name is. He's the Punisher, the same guy that plays the Punisher.
Oh, okay.
He plays Mickey Mantle.
Huh.
And man, it's just a story of their race, and it kind of gives you like behind the scenes.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool,
dude. It is so cool, and even watching that Long Gone Summer of McGuire and Sosa this past week.
Yeah.
It was just kind of cool. That's kind of why that was on top of my head, because that reminded me of that movie, and I remember how much me and my brother used to love that movie.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I'm gonna have to watch that for sure. I've never even heard of it.
Check it out. That's what I was gonna say, man. It wasn't like a huge movie. We just had a big DVD collection back when I was a kid, and my dad bought a baseball.
Speaking on that, yes, he did.
Dude, we had any movie you could imagine.
I used to stay the night at his house all the time, and I remember I watched my first R-rated movie at Luke Bigler's house. Miss Susan walked in and she said, "Is your parents okay with you watching this?" I said, "Yeah, of course." And we watched 8 Mile like nothing ever.
Dude,
that's right.
That's so funny. My mom was so the opposite end of the spectrum.
Really?
Like I remember one time, I'll never forget it. I talk about this to my mom all the time. Okay, I was 12 years old and we went and watched Dinner for Schmucks. Okay, with my baseball team, my little league team. And she made me walk out of the movie 30 minutes in. And I went and watched the other guys with my dad. And it was the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. I didn't think I wasn't allowed to watch Rugrats. I thought I wasn't allowed to watch MTV because I thought it stood for mature TV. I was just a dumb kid. But I would never get away with crap like that, man.
Bro.
What? You got something to say, man?
Yeah, you were just a sheltered child. There's nothing wrong with that.
Super sheltered.
I married a sheltered child.
Well, hey, it worked out pretty well for you. So
on the way home, Autumn and I rode back from work today, and I was kind of trying to prep for this podcast, and I was like, Autumn, what are your top 3 sports movies?
Yeah.
Autumn's not a huge sports fan in general,
right.
So she was like, it's gotta be Disney movies. So I pulled up a list, and actually I'll read you off the list. It's kind of embarrassing.
Oh,
but
God, okay.
Are these still like sports movies?
Yeah, they're sports
Disney
movies.
Sports movies?
No. Here we go. Top 5 sports movies for Autumn. Number 1, High School Musical. Number 2,
basketball.
Number 2, High School Musical 2. Number 3, High School Musical Senior Year. Number 4, Ice Princess. I don't even know what that is.
What? Is that like a skate movie?
It was a Disney movie about figure skating, I believe.
Okay.
And then
Respect.
number 5, my respect came for this one, Cool Runnings. You seen Cool Runnings?
Is that the one? That's the ones like
You seen Cool Runnings?
Is that the one? That's the one's like, come feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Come on, Jamaica, it's bobsled time.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Movie. That
Okay.
one's good.
That one's fair.
That was very nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. High School Musical 1, 2, and 3.
Top 3 right there.
Right there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that. She's sitting right over there.
Gal.
Shout out. Good job, Autumn.
She just got here because she walked home. But
But anyway, that's pretty much all the time we have for the show today. We're going to get into Third Strike, and I'm going to let you go first. You got a third strike for us?
Yes. So my third strike is Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, should have already had his third strike.
Ooh.
The guy's a clown and a puppet, and
it's getting hot in here.
And I'm kind of sweating thinking about it. Honestly,
Okay.
He needs to get out of here. We need to get a deal set, get some baseball going, get a new commission next year. So we need the CBA to go well next year. We just need baseball back.
Love it.
Love it.
Love
dude.
that, man.
Love it. All right, so my third strike for this week, I just want to let the rest of the NHL know that the Nashville Predators, they are a streak team. And you best hope when this playoff push comes back that the Predators aren't hot, because they're going to run straight to the Stanley Cup, and they've got a real chance of winning it.
Absolutely. Could not agree more. My third strike is not sports related at all. Mine is Elon Musk. I love you. Can I have a Tesla for free? Pro bono. That's all I have. But anyway, that's a great.
Better ask your boy David Dobrik.
Hey, and David Dobrik, you know what? Give me a Tesla as well. Elon Musk, either one of you, I love you both. Anyway, but that's all we have for the Common Fan this week. Big shout out to Luke again for coming on.
Let's go. Appreciate it.
We'll see you guys next time.